this, like that, like this, like that, like this, like that, like this, like that.
What is up, YouTube? Your host with the most, RonnRetrobro, is back, and today we are back to Jet Grind Radio. So the last time we played, we were taking over the Shibuya district, and now we should have gotten the attention of the noise tanks, so we're going ahead and going to have a gang battle with them so we can take over this territory. At the same time, when we complete that, we should have another rival fight. That's right, Shibuya Terminal is so big that you don't just have a rival fight to get Mew, but you do a rival fight to get Yo-Yo as well, which is actually one of the hardest and most irritating ones to do, and you will see why when we get to that point. But for now, we will do the rival battle against the noise tanks. So they are there, and we do need to spray paint them, but we don't have any spray paint. So before we even waste our time in bothering to try to get them, the first thing we are going to do is go ahead and get us some spray paint. So let's go ahead and look for that. And as you can see, you get a lot of time for this stage, like almost 800 seconds. And the reason being is because this level is ridiculously difficult. The thing that makes it difficult is, aside from it being extremely large, their patterns are a little less consistent than when we fought the guys Poison Jam in the sewer. At the same time, they are a little bit more skilled with their skating. And they intentionally charge into you to knock you down, stopping you from being able to spray them too. So there's always that. So we're going to keep chasing them, playing tag like this, which is no surprise because that's how these rival battle things work, which you guys already seen. So while we're doing this, since it's going to take a while, I figured we'll talk about some of the things that really made this game like a huge impact on me, aside from the fact that I love the music and I love the story. One of the things is that one of my friends in my neighborhood actually had this game. So the first time I saw it, like, I saw him playing a lot, and I was looking at it, you know, as a kid, and I'm looking at it like, man, this game is stupid. Like, all you do is rollerblade and spray graffiti. I was like, where's the energy beams? Where's the superpowers? And then, like, well, obviously I grew up. So I grew up and I saw the game, what was it, for Xbox. And on Xbox, I looked at it and I was like, I remember this game. I had a friend that had this and I thought it was the dumbest game ever. But since this game came completely, not even as demo, but completely with some race car game, when you first received your Xbox for free with whatever game you purchased, I was like, you know what? I might as well take the time and try it. So I took the time and tried the game and I loved it. Like, it was way better than I thought. Now, would I have liked it as a child? Still pretty sure the answer to that is no. But getting older and taking the time to play it, it's a lot of fun. The music's really catchy, which in my opinion, I'm not too huge on the gaming music to quite a lot of video games, to be perfectly honest. Especially, well, not so much now. I mean, music and games are very revolutionary to the point that graphics and music are amazing, but back when this game first came out, around those times, which were like early 2000s, games still didn't really have very catchy or attractive music to it. The 8-bit thing was still very much popular in a lot of games, and for the games that didn't do 8-bit but were starting to get out of that, they still didn't have the greatest music. Like, I'll go out on a limb and say that though Mario 64 didn't use 8-bit music, I didn't care for it at all. Though Mario Kart 64 didn't have 8-bit music, I didn't care for it at all. But there were still games that didn't follow that pattern that I did like the music for. Like, say Donkey Kong 64, if anyone's familiar with that. Everyone remembers the DK rap. The DK rap was amazing. Like, I love the DK rap. But like, and then like another game now that I think about it that had decent music, I like Star Fox's music. Star Fox 64 was another game that had really good music at that time. Like, it gave you that whole sci-fi kind of Star Trek type feel, and the music to the boss battles were definitely the best part. Like, when you took on Star Wolf's team, the music was really dramatic, and I liked the way it sounded. I also liked the way the music was when you take on Andros's brain. That was also really good too. And it's just one of the points, I guess, is that it was the turning point for games right there. For anyone that remembers those times and grew up around those times like I did, I'm pretty sure you'll agree that it was the turning point for games, and the fact that graphics were getting better, music was getting better, and we never really had any complaints with older games, like say for the Genesis, Super Nintendo, or anything to that extent. So when we started seeing these games, we just went nuts. Like, oh my god, what is this? We thought games were addicting before. This was insane. Like, these games were so addictive that family members would watch you play and would want to play, because they would look at it like, wow, this music isn't really irritating. It doesn't sound like your computer crashed. And the characters actually look very close to real people. Not bad. And those were just like some of the real big things that started the hook, which is probably one of the reasons why a lot of games today actually, well, do what they do, which is have really good graphics and have really good music. But at the same time, one of the things that I feel a lot of games are doing today that they didn't do back then is they're putting so much work into the graphics and music and stuff that a lot of these games are, in my opinion, losing the gameplay factor. And by gameplay factor, I mean you get amazing cinematics, you get amazing music for these cinematics, but the gameplay itself is not that great. And then there's some games that are really balanced and really amazing. Batman was definitely not what I expected to be. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I thought I'd give it a try because I heard it was Game of the Year. I had a lot of friends that liked it, even though our game opinions and tastes don't match up by any means, and I'm glad that I took the time to try it. So there may actually be some other games that I've been, well, kind of writing off as well too, and I should probably take the time to do it. So one of the other things I actually want to do with this channel is actually take the time to do that too. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm always going to play a lot of different games, and I'll have a lot of old school games on here too, but I do want to try to bring some newer games to the table too, because I mean, we do have a new generation of kids and a lot of fans that are younger, so I'm pretty sure they'll appreciate seeing some games that are more relevant to their generation as well. So even though I prefer older games in most cases, I'll take the time to attempt trying newer games. Am I going to get popped? Yes. Are there going to be a lot of deaths and things that look stupid like, Retro, you suck at this game, bro? Absolutely. Will I have rage? Oh yeah, I will definitely have rage. But it's definitely something I want to try, and I think you guys may enjoy too, because there's a lot of you guys also that, well, for the most part, don't play as many games as you think. You say you're gamers and you play like one game all day every day, or 2 games all day every day, and I think it'll be a nice experience for you guys that enjoy the channel, and you girls as well, to see some other games that you may have just said absolutely not to without even trying. So the experience and the goal for both of us is to try to play more games that we would never actually play before, and to give them an actual chance before, well, judging them and saying that we wouldn't like them at all. And I'm going to try this with a lot of games this year, so you can actually consider this video not only an LP of Jet Grind Radio, where we get to enjoy, you know, me doing things like the versus tag and whatnot that's currently going on right now, and then the race that we have going on with Yo-Yo, but you can kind of think of it as an update video to some extent as well. And the biggest reason I'm doing this is because in this particular episode, as you see, this is going on very long and it's monotonous between well, essentially me chasing and tagging them, and I thought it'd be really boring to kind of just sit here quietly, focusing in on chasing them and not giving you guys anything. So I thought kind of just talking about some of the things I wanted to do with the channel, and some of the things I would hope you guys would be interested in being actively involved in, would actually help the channel in forms of just some different things we can do, some things that I want to try to do just to get outside the box and have more things that I can play and try as well. And I would definitely want to hear you guys' opinion in the comment section on whether you agree at making this attempt. Some of the things I'm actually attempting to bring to the channel as well are games that I absolutely hate. Like, for example, I'm actually thinking of bringing a few FPSs possibly too. Now, Call of Duty, I am not bringing by any means. Like, I've played it, I don't like it, and being that I was in the military and a lot of people in that community kind of down talk a lot of other games that aren't considered realistic, in my opinion, Call of Duty isn't even that realistic as well. I mean, there's a lot of off things with weapon ranges, weapons that are only effective in 50-meter range, like say a 9mm gun effectively killing someone that's 300 meters away, and just kind of being in the military and being a little more proficient with weapons than the average person. It's a real pet peeve of mine for a game to claim to be realistic and to have those issues. But I will try an FPS like, say, Modern Warfare. I heard not only is it better than Call of Duty, but I also heard that when you play with people and you play online, people are more willing to work in a team. And those are the type of games you're supposed to play in teams. When you have a 4-man squad, everyone's not supposed to separate and just try to get most kills. That's stupid. When you're in a 4-man squad, you stick together. You have one person work rear security. You have one person kind of look around to see if things are above you in the area. And then one person that's constantly just looking around while the point man is kind of risking their life to die to keep you guys alive as they look around from the front. If you do teamwork like that in those type of games, 90% of the time you'll win. And you'll see that the really good teams tend to do that. But unfortunately, in games like Call of Duty, everyone's glory hogs that just want immediate kills, and it makes for a crappy experience. Now, from what I've been told from quite a lot of people, Modern Warfare does not have this issue. I kind of thought they were full of BS, so I never tried it. But I will try it, and we will see together if that is true or not. If it is a game and a community where people properly work together, which you're supposed to do for those war type games, I will enjoy it, and it will definitely be something I'll be adding to the channel. Another game that I'm thinking of actually adding, well, providing it's on Steam, I haven't checked into it just yet, is Portal. Heard Portal was a lot of fun. Haven't taken any time to play it. Something else I would like to try. Also, if you guys have a couple of games that you know of that are newer, that you think I may like, or you would like to see me attempt to play, I'll take the time to play it. Because I'll admit, I know and like a lot of older school games, but I really don't know too many of the new ones that are out. And since I'm taking the time to try to do them, I would like to have some other things that you guys would like to see as well. Not just picks that I'm kind of randomly picking that you're like, ah, Retro, come on, bro. We don't want to see this. Because at the end of the day, aside from joining games, I want to entertain you guys because you support my channel, you give me comments, you actively give me your opinions, and I truly appreciate that. So now that we're finally done with a whole boring portion of me just kind of playing tag with them as long, we'll get back into the story. So we finally taken out the noise tanks, and I am definitely glad that that monotonous portion is done. One of the other things I love right here is just how dramatic the game is. Like, it has this real nice anime feel to it. And by this point, I'll admit, anime was starting to get a little more popular. Obviously not as popular as it is now, but around this point, we knew what animes were. We knew what DBZ was. We knew what a couple of animes were thanks to Toonami. But for those of us that was anime fans, it was always refreshing to kind of get that tough, rough, really comedic and weird, not making sense kind of spin on things in games like you did in TV shows. Kind of like in Pokemon when they had jokes that you never got. Like when somebody said something really stupid and they would just fall for no reason or slide halfway across the screen, and you'd be like, really? That's your reaction to someone saying something stupid? So now we're on to the portion that I told you I really hate. This is literally the hardest race in the game. Now, I've talked about a lot of things I love about this game. Let's talk about one thing that I really hate about this game now that we're up to this race. And the one thing I actually hate is that when you do these races, which I'm sure you guys have probably noticed, they don't show you where to go. So it's like the first time you race, like I'm doing now, you kind of have no choice but to lose and let the opponent beat you, just so you can kind of follow them and see where you need to go to win. Then when you actually know where to go, you can rush ahead of them because you actually know the path. So in this whole part, I'm guaranteed to lose right now because, well, roughly, I really don't know exactly where to go. And even looking at the map where it shows you where it is, it doesn't show you necessarily how to get there. So it really helps, well, absolutely none in this scenario. So in this part, we're going to have to follow him and try to memorize the route. We will catch an L, but we will get what we need, which is, well, where to go. And as you can see here, Yo-Yo is actually an extremely good character. When we actually finally beat him, we will be using him. Now there is a shortcut here, so I'm not going to follow him and do all those loops or all that ridiculous grinding, because it's just him being full of himself and being cocky. There is indeed a quicker route here, and I'm not exactly sure where it is. I know it's somewhere in this vicinity, so I'm going to try to find it. I mean, we're already going to lose this race anyway, so identifying where the shortcut is to make the race more efficient and give us a better chance to win, I think it's worth time to do so. So we're going to take the time to look for it. Hopefully I'm on the right part of the corner right now. I'm going to keep looking. And according to the map, he's almost done with the stage, which isn't good because I was hoping to find this shortcut before he beat me, but it doesn't look like that's going down right now. Okay, so there it is. I see it, but I don't know. I went the wrong way somehow and got like disoriented. So I need to find what I did wrong to get there when we actually start the race over. Because he's already, well, practically at the finish line right now. So we'll try this again. We know the majority of it. It's just that one portion we don't know. So now we can go ahead and go ahead of him. We don't need him for this portion of the race anymore. At the same time, I'm not going to waste time grinding, because the last time I picked up speed, I hit him, and it knocks me backwards. So let's go ahead, let him be fancy, let him do his grinding, let him do his flips, let him do his little taunting, and we're just going to go up the ramp, jump through here, and get through here as quickly as possible. There's no reason for us to be fancy. Let him act and look cool while we win this race. We're not going to grind on any of these either. We're just going to keep straight, and when we see that one corner at the right we got to go through, we're just going to go ahead and start making our way through there. And there it is. Let's go ahead and grind this rail. Go ahead and jump across. And there we go. So I go left here. Okay, this doesn't look right either. See, and again, this is why this is a pet peeve of mine. Because they don't show you exactly where to go in the race, you literally have to follow them, see where to go, and able to win the race. And that's just aggravating. It's not fair to force someone to do a race where you don't know where to go. That's like if I challenged each and every one of you to a race right now and told you I'll race you around my neighborhood when you've never been to New York in your life and you don't know my neighborhood at all. So you're probably faster than me to the point that you'll probably destroy me in the race had you knew where you're going. But I'm going to win because I know where to go and you don't even know the layout of New York or my neighborhood for that matter. And that's roughly what they do in these territory matches, which is ridiculous. And you see, I see it now, but I'm trying to find where I'm getting disoriented. So it looks like when I come off the bridge, if I'm looking at it correctly, I think I'm not making a left and I'm making a right. I think that's what I just saw. So we're gonna go ahead and give that a try. So we're gonna go ahead and get through this part because this part's easy enough. And then when we get there, hopefully we won't get disoriented again. So it looks like the mistake I've been making was making a left. So we're gonna try making a right this go round. So far so good. We're decently ahead of him. One thing that I'm constantly doing that I'm making a mistake of, she accelerates too much. So I'm allowing her to pick up too much speed, and it's actually a problem because when I have decent leads like this, it slow me down. Like what just happened there, where I accidentally grind when I tried to jump across to that section, and now he has the lead again. Okay, so right here is where we should be going left. No, it was a right. Okay, that's where I made the mistake before. I kept going left. It was right. It wasn't like a direct right, like a hard turn, but it was kind of like adjacent. It's like a 15 degree to the right of where I was, I guess would be the precise way to explain it. So we have the lead, and it looks like we may win this. Hurry up and get up these steps. Hopefully I don't fall trying to grind on this pipe. Promising, promising, promising. It looks like we may have this, and I am happy because we've already lost 3 times.
Let's look at the...
Okay, there's another rail. I forgot about that, but what? We jumped over that? Are you serious? So we got this far, went too fast, jumped over it, and now we lost. This is really aggravating right now. Like, at this point, we're going to try this again, but we were so close. So close. And I picked up too much speed on my jump. Like, seriously. You don't understand how aggravating that is and how upset I am right now. Like, that was ridiculous. I seriously feel like right now, I'm definitely making the wrong move. And by wrong move, I mean Mew is not a good choice for this because she's too fast to the point that you don't really have decent control after acceleration for specific jumps you have to make. So at this point now, if this doesn't work out, I'm just going to simply go back to the garage and I'm switching characters. I'm going to make this easier on myself. Yeah, this is too much. I'm done. Enough is enough. That's it. And there's no restart button because I was going to at least restart it and try one more time with Mew. But no, that's officially it. I've had enough. I am not using Mew anymore for this race. So let's go ahead and go back to the garage. And we're going to make this more strategic. So let's go ahead and go with Corn. Corn is not as fast as Mew. He has better handle on his skates. And that should make it a lot easier for this race. We won't be able to outspeed as easily as we did with Mew against Yo-Yo, but it won't matter because with the shortcuts we know we're going to take the lead anyway. So let's go ahead and focus on having a character with better control rather than having all that ridiculous level of speed. This should make it a lot easier, but we'll find out in a minute. So far so good. I'm accelerating and I can barely keep up with him, which means that I'm not that fast by any means. I don't have a problem with that because that means I'm going to have control when I'm grinding rails because I'm not going to be going that quickly. So he's going to go ahead, he's going to grind around, do his stupid showing off, whatever. We'll take this shortcut and go ahead through. And we're already across. And we were able to accelerate and move and jump without doing ridiculous tricks and crashing into walls. A very promising start. So there's where we need to go. I always make the mistake of grinding there. Whatevs. Now we're just gonna go ahead. We'll make our way across. We still have a shot at winning this. Now for that turn that I always mess up. And there it is. Go ahead. Go through there. We'll keep making our way through the tunnel. We're about to make this left right here. Keep going. The way to get up to the top of the steps is to the left. So we're going to go ahead and turn in there. And we're going to keep rushing as quickly as we can, because we have a decent lead of him right now. Cool. We made our rail. This is looking promising. And now we will jump to the next one. Nice. I'm going way slower than I did with her when I landed on this. We got this match. That's what I'm talking about. This stupid race is over. And now we have Yo-Yo. I definitely like playing this Yo-Yo. His acceleration isn't super fast, but he picks up quite a lot of speed when he's grinding, and a lot of the grinding tricks and moves he does are really good, and they make it really easy to transition like rail to rail or rail to wall. Pretty much trick in the trick, essentially. So what I'm thinking right now is I should probably look at the time to see what we're looking at right here, and it looks like we should close off the episode right here, because even though we normally do 30 minutes, with the amount of time that took, we're not gonna beat this stage in 30 minutes. So next episode, we will be chasing the Love Shockers back in the first level again to gather some information. Well, we'll be actually doing it as Yo-Yo. So if you like the series, like, comment, and subscribe. And as usual, I've been RonnRetrobro, and I'm signing out. When you go up, he's gonna go up, and you just keep tricking him like that until you can eventually hit him. And you avoid the ninja stars. As long as he keeps doing this, he's fairly easy. He's only hard